Well, good morning and hello world. I'm Maya Sundermeyer, and I would like to welcome you to the latest episode of my blog series. Sorry it has taken me this long to post another blog, but I would like to start posting videos and episodes every once a week for you guys to see. So anyway, hello world, I'm Maya Sundermeyer, and I would like to welcome you to the latest episode of my blog series. The main purpose of my blogs is to talk about what it's been like for me to live on the autism spectrum. Other times I give my 2 cents as to what's going on with autism in the media, which is something that I have not done in a while, and I think I should probably pick up that pace again. And then a third thing that I do now that's brand new is I like to give tips to individuals on the autism spectrum, as well as their friends and their families and their peers and their mentors and their roommates and their job coaches, and to anyone that is in our communities that doesn't understand but wants to understand, to those that don't understand, and so on and so forth. And then a fourth thing that I like to do is I cover topics that I am passionate about that have absolutely nothing to do with autism whatsoever. And in this video blog, I would like to talk about giving tips to individuals on the autism spectrum that will be looking at moving out on their own, versus how other people that are outside of your immediate family feel about that. And I wanted to say that there are people who are in our families that don't understand and simply refuse to understand, what autism is and what it's all about. And because they've heard all of these stigmas and they believe their own biases and they refuse to change, they don't want anything to do with the individual on the autism spectrum that lives on their own. And this can include excluding them from major events like Thanksgiving or Christmas or Hanukkah or Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah. And I wanted to mention to you guys that are on the autism spectrum that probably will live a few miles away from some of these family members that don't want to have anything to do with you. The biggest tip I could give you is do a little bit of research and find out what resources you could give to your family members. You could give them books like Dr. Temple Grandin is a great resource, or you could look at Jennifer Cook O'Toole. She's a great resource. Now they're both model citizens and self-advocates who are on the autism spectrum as well. You could also do a Google search, and you could also look and see what articles are published out there that give a positive look at autism. And then you could probably print out that information and you could send these things in the mail to your family members. Now, for those of you family members that may not feel comfortable about having your children or yourselves around this individual because you've been told that individuals on the spectrum have a lack of empathy, or because we have panic attacks and we have meltdowns, what you want to do is take everything in small steps. Like, let's say that you may not feel comfortable with your children around the family member who's on the autism spectrum. What you could do is possibly just meet your niece or your nephew or your grandchild or your cousin outside of the family. Meet them for dinner maybe once a month. And you could possibly also go over there and allow the individual on the spectrum to cook you dinner, and then you guys just sit down and get to know each other. And then it's just a one-on-one thing. And then the next suggestion and step would be to bring in the spouse and very gradually allow the spouse to get to know the individual on the autism spectrum with Asperger's syndrome or a nonverbal learning disability or a very mild autism. And they sit down and they talk and have the individual on the spectrum. That's where you go in and you educate your extended family members about how you see things, what it's like for you, and you help them to see that you're not a half of a person. You help them to see that you're a whole person, but just in a different light, and that your mind is very different than theirs, and help them to understand why you're having a panic attack, or why you called your cousin or your uncle, the B word, or whatever. And then you just very gradually develop that trust. And once that trust is built up over time, maybe you would like to, uncles, aunts, grandparents, cousins, bring one of the two siblings that you feel would be comfortable getting to know the individual that they once tried to shy you away from. Or you tried to shy away from the individual on the spectrum because you didn't know exactly what was going on, and you very gradually educate the individual who can understand that, okay, they're not mean, they're not mentally ill, they may be experiencing something based on environment, or they can't communicate like you and I can. And you try to educate them, and then you also start to bring them into the once a month or twice a week dinners, or you go out and go bowling, and you gradually get to know the person. So, and then once that's established, you also go in and you add the other person who's probably younger than the sibling, and it just, you very gradually develop that trust in the relationship, and that way they get to know the individual on the spectrum. So again, you don't invite everybody at once where no one is comfortable. You invite one person at a time, and that's what I wish that some of my family members would have done with me. So anyway, I'm Maya Sundermeyer. If you guys have any questions or comments, I would be more than happy to answer them. If you are willing to hear what I have to say, do not forget to subscribe and share my blogs on Twitter and YouTube, and share them with the autism communities right here in Georgia and anywhere that's nationwide, worldwide. After all, and remember, autism is becoming a very big thing and is more common than you think. So, until next time, I'm Maya Sundermeyer, and I'm signing off.